This episode of It's All Greek to Me is brought to you by our premium corporate partner, Levendus Lawyers. On today's episode of It's All Greek to Me, we're going to be learning about some native Australian ingredients and we're going to be cooking with them. And I'm fine-tuning, nearly got ya. I'm learning how to kick a footy. Good. Daniel Motlop, ladies and gentlemen. Mate, North Melbourne, Port Power, superstar. I call him a superstar, he's a bit modest. He's shown me up how to kick a footy, all that sort of stuff. So I think it's time we get into the kitchen, mate. Let's go.
Started probably back when my grandfather moved from Torres Strait Islands, jumped on a boat, moved to Darwin. Chico his name was, or known as Edward Motlop, but yeah, Chico was his nickname, and my hard-working and rugby background, coaching rugby through Darwin, and he met a Larrakia woman in Lorna Johns, and yeah, they married and had 4 boys and 2 girls, and then the siblings come out of it, which was me and 20 other kids, pretty heavily involved in food and sport.
Goes to the Motlop man, almost. Still there. Uh-oh. He can kick 7. Oh, no. Spins it. Oh, that's the best of them. All hail Daniel Motlop. We have a new king.
We were a family that, you know, my grandfather moved over and said, you know, this is our culture, this is how we live. You obviously go a bit deeper in the indigenous side where there's 16 clans and 8 of them are built on a moiety system of Yiddicha and Dua, which is like yin and yang, I guess. And that pretty much connects us to everything. You know, the stars, skies, the sun, the animals are either Yiddicha or Dua. Our totem's crocodile, so we pretty much worship the crocodile. The crocodile is something we don't eat, whereas other clans would eat that, and that just probably helps with sustainability side of it and looking after the country and what we do. So food has always been a passion of mine to get into, and to represent that culture in doing it is pretty proud of.
Now, Dan, we're about to get cooking, but I saw you over there picking some stuff out of the bushes there. Explain to me, what was it, man?
A bit of native lemongrass and kakala, or people call it pigface, a sort of mainstream name for it, I guess.
So we've got stuff all over the place in our gardens, don't we, man?
Yeah, and that's the best thing about, you know, cooking out bush, I guess. You know, you've got the native ingredients all around you. If you know what they are, and a show like today, we can teach that.
Fantastic. So we're going to be cooking barramundi, is that right?
Yep, salt water from the NT.
Mate, let's do it.
Yeah, so we're going to use a bit of kakala. So native kakala, this grows along the Coorong of South Australia. A bit of lemongrass, fresh lemon myrtle leaves. And we're just going to cook it in the pan, and we're going to pour it over our barramundi that's going to be put in the paperbark, put in the oven for 20 minutes, cooked pretty quick and steamed through the flavours of paperbark.
Show me how it's done.
All right. So yeah, we're just using the Gladys wipes to obviously make the paperbark a bit moist so it doesn't burn up in the oven. What you're going to do is you've got strips. So that's sort of the strips that you don't want. We can just pull those away like that. Use that as one. Now what we're going to do is put a nice piece of barra in there, probably 1 portion size, so you can take it straight out and serve it straight on the plate, I guess. We're going to get a bit of ginger, place it on the bottom just to steam with it.
Yeah.
Bit of onion as well. We use a native salt, so I don't know if you've tasted kakala before, but it's have a little try, but it's really salty, so we're going to use natural salt.
That is juicy as.
Yeah, it's very nice.
It's got that's really nice, man.
So that's going to keep our fish moist as well. And we're going to use this bit of Tasmanian pepperberry grounded instead of using normal pepper.
Yeah.
So what we want to do now is we're going to put a big clunk of butter straight in there, and then we're going to rip off some lemon myrtle leaves, break the leaf off. So what you're going to do is sort of release all the oils.
Yeah, that's it. Perfect.
Oils, get them in there. While we're doing that, we're going to wrap this paperbark, right, so we can open it and serve it straight on the plate without even worrying about it.
So basically, you wrap that up. It'll go in the oven now.
Yep.
We've got the oven preheated at about 200 degrees. You're going to put that in probably 15 to 20 minutes.
20 minutes.
It's steamed ready. We can wrap up a whole bunch of those and unwrap them, and that's your fish component of your meal that you're going to have. So I've got to try it. I've got to try it, man.
Straight in the oven.
Done. Look at this. Lemon myrtle butter is ready. The barramundi smells awesome. Man, get one out. We've got to try it.
Right, we'll see how this goes. Open this up. You can see, still a bit wet there, which is good. Open up. It should be nice and
perfect,
freshly steamed.
Awesome.
We're just going to pick that up. Go straight on there. So the finishing touch is our lemon myrtle butter, just to bring it all together. Don't need too much of this, it's pretty flavoursome.
Fantastic. Paperbark barramundi with our native Australian greens.
Yep, so we've got a bit of cacala on there, we've got a bit of lemon myrtle butter, so yeah, we're making Australian flavours.
Time to try. I'm going to get a bit of everything here. Let's do it. You got to do it. Eat it. This is the Greek part in me. It has to have a bit of everything on the fork.
100%.
Man, the smokiness of the paperbark as well. Mm-hmm. It gives it gives it another edge, eh?
Well, it's obviously naturally smoked as well.
Man, that
it's nice.
is brilliant. That little burst of saltiness and the juiciness. You got to try it at home. I don't know what else to say. Well done, man.
Speechless.
Well done. Well done. Beautiful. Ade, yasas. There you go. Dan's saltwater barramundi in paperbark with a lemon myrtle butter sauce.
I moved down to Adelaide when I was 16 to play for North Adelaide Footy Club, and lucky enough to get drafted and live a childhood dream that, you know, I sort of wanted to do my whole life and thought I was doing it. I didn't go get a job because I knew I was going to play footy, which is a bit arrogant, but, you know, cried for the first few months moving away from home, but ended up at North Melbourne, then Port Power, and sort of hit home when I retired because I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I went back to Darwin for a little bit, met my wife. She's Italian, Japanese background, and so to bring someone who I thought I was pretty cultural and meet their family, both sides, and learn other cultures was great for me, I suppose. And, you know, we've got 3 kids and they sort of latch on to every different culture. They're all sort of the same. So I got my middle boy who's 8, he's latched on to the Japanese side. He's always with his bachi or his grandmother, hanging out there every weekend. And then I got my youngest boy, he's really Aboriginal, I suppose. He loves it. He loves walking down here and just grabbing trees. And my daughter, she's very Italian. She's like her mother, loves her food. Then I got an older boy in Perth, so he's equipped with all of it too. At about 5 o'clock, me and my wife are thinking what to cook. It's always 3 different meals from 3 different cultures, so that is a bit of a struggle. And obviously me and my wife like different foods as well, so yeah, we're cooking 3 or 4 different meals. That's why sometimes it's easy to just go nuggets and chips for everyone, so yeah. The reason I sort of started my businesses is it was to help people and really showcase Australian native ingredients. I went to Darwin and got a permit to harvest magpie goose and sell it to restaurants. People don't even know what that is. They think it's a magpie, and then you tell them it's a black and white goose. Blokes like Joxon Frello and Rene Redzepi wanted it. So I flew Rene Redzepi up to Darwin along with Jock and showed them all the native ingredients they could use in a pop-up in Sydney called Noma. And that's how it started, I guess. Just a small business, and what we try to do now in our business is set up small business in Aboriginal communities to sell to our shop in the Central Market, and we on-sell as a distributor, I guess, to restaurants and retail. The store's there for people to have access to this stuff, so you can go in and buy some fresh cacala or fresh samphire, fresh sea blight, kakadu plums, everything that isn't in season you can get in our store.
Now that I've shown Daniel, you've had a look how I've taught him how to kick the footy, right? We're going to make our very nice sponge cake with a syrup base to it. Now what we're going to do, because we want to use a native plant, okay, lemon myrtle. So what we've done, we actually added to our syrup, which is the sugar-based syrup. We've got the lemon myrtle that's been added to it, gives it a beautiful fragrance of lemon. Let's get into it. We've got our butter. We're going to add our sugar into that. Everything wants to be room temperature because this way, when you whisk and cream the butter, it's going to cream a lot nicer. We want to get it smooth. And then we're going to add everything else. It's not going to curdle. It's going to be the perfect batter. It's going to turn it into your perfect sponge. We're going to put a little bit of the vanilla sugar in there as well. We're going to add the eggs slowly. Combine them. Now the idea is we whipped and mixed our butter and sugar well, combined it. Now we're going to slowly add the oil. Allow it to mix. A little bit more. Now doing this together, you'll notice this mixture hasn't split at all because you've done everything slowly, room temperature. It is the perfect consistent batter. I'm gonna combine the flour, fine semolina and coconut. Now what we want to do, I've got a little bit of milk here. We are going to add a little bit of the flour. I've turned down the speed of the mixer.
Yep.
Bits of the flour combination here. And then we'll go a bit of the milk combo. Whoop. That was a nice one.
Yeah, well, again, everyone at home, take your time. You may not have a helper, but take your time and do it nice and easy.
All you got to do is do bit by bit.
That's it.
Until
You know this?
it's all
Stop,
gone.
Put it in, start again.
And we're getting towards the end of our flour mixture. It's getting pretty thick. You can stop that.
Yep.
What we'll do is we'll finish it off folding it through with the rubber spatula. All right, Nico, I'm going to add this.
Let's go.
Now we'll just fold it through. Finish it off. Righto. We have our buttered tray. Nico, let's put that in here. And if there's any leftover mixture for the size tray that you have, which we'll work out right now, you put it in patty pans. Spread it nice and even. Oven is preheated at 170 degrees. In the oven she goes. 50 minutes later, let's have a look at what comes out. All right, time to get that Evany out the oven. I would like you to get the lemon myrtle out.
Yeah, sure.
So we can put the syrup straight onto that Evany.
Wow. Okay.
Come out.
Well, this is like a Lamington Greek sponge type coconut lemon myrtle situation.
And what I would like you to do is just evenly distribute the syrup. Beautiful. Just go over the top, all the way around it. Go for it. Go for him. Go for him.
Go for
this is going to make it the perfect moist semolina sponge cake. Because of the semolina and the sponge, the consistency of the syrup, it is going to retain the syrup, so it's going to be just beautifully balanced. Let that sit down now. To finish it off, some of the coconut that you have, aside the desiccated coconut, put it on a tray, put it in the oven, or you roast it on a frying pan with nothing, so that it toasts. Put it over the top, just to decorate it, or you can cut it into pieces, put a nice cherry on top. I love it. Warm piece of Ravani with a scoop of beautiful vanilla ice cream, or the ice cream of your choice. Match made in heaven.
Beautiful.
Look at that. Oh boy. You must try. Now it's just a try. Perfect.
It's got to be an all-time favourite. Ravani has to be.
Gotta make it. Gotta make it. Just do it.
Oh.
No. The lemon myrtle. Don't forget to pop into Daniel's shop in the Central Market to pick up some lemon myrtle.
The culture's Japanese, Italian, Aboriginal, Torres Strait Islander. It's pretty similar in the way food is given, I suppose. Our food on the Aboriginal side is more who can harvest something or who can give something. In the Italian side, it's like, you know, Auntie Myrtle cooks the Parmigiana, or Uncle so-and-so cooks the pig, or whatever, you know, sort of thing. So, whereas ours is more family orientated with animals on what we can harvest and what we can't. We can't eat crocodile, obviously. We can't hunt it, we don't kill it. But we can eat magpie goose, you know, we go out hunting for magpie goose, and we usually, you know, we get maybe 20 or 30, but we'll go home with maybe 2 because we'll stop off at everyone's house and hand it over to the families and that sort of stuff. So it's taught me a lot too about giving, especially being with the Italian side a lot. They're just, yeah, they're beautiful people. I love it.
What a great mix of cultures Daniel's been exposed to. And now he can add Greek to that list. I hope you all enjoyed the show. See you all next time.